Only recently did scientists discover that your body is teeming with trillions of the most bizarre viruses. These viruses are not enemies. They are crucial to your health. They protect you and might even kill cancer. This is scientific uncharted territory that we are only just beginning to understand. Let's dive into the wild world of the human virome. You are an ecosystem. You are an ecosystem consisting of up to 40 trillion cells. This flesh metropolis is home to the human microbiome, another 40 trillion bacteria that have a contract with you. They are allowed to live here, and in return, they break down your meals. They synthesize vitamins in the gut, neutralize acid in the mouth, help balance your immune system, and take up space so that harmful bacteria cannot invade. It is a fragile balance. Bacteria look out only for their own advantage, multiplying and testing their limits. To keep them in check, the ecosystem needs their mortal enemies, viruses. At least 10 trillion of them. They are everywhere in your body, tens of thousands of species. At least a few trillion live in your gut, where most of the bacteria are also located. At least 18 billion on your skin, 100 million in every drop of saliva, dozens of millions in your urinary tract. Researchers even found up to 100,000 viruses in a single drop of the fluid surrounding your nerves and brain. That sounds horrific at first, but at least in your gut, about 97% of them are so-called bacteriophages, or phages. These weird things specialize in hunting and killing bacteria. They cannot infect your cells. Instead, they kill trillions of bacteria every day. These viruses form the virome, a symbiotic viral ecosystem, unique to everyone and crucial for health. Let's get to know them and see how they help you, and what happens when things go wrong.
The silent mass murderers of your body. In your gut, a lambdaphage secretly drifts through the crowd of bacteria in search of victims. It has 6 legs, a thin body, and a large geometric head full of genetic material. Each species specializes in hunting a specific type of bacterium and ignores all others. Lambda is looking for Escherichia coli. This useful and very common bacterium in the gut is usually a good boy. It synthesizes vitamins, but some of them would much rather live in your flesh and feast on your resources. If there are too many, or if they manage to invade tissue, they can cause serious diseases. One of the most important tasks of the virome is to control the size of bacterial populations by killing. Lambda has caught a victim. With spider-like legs, it holds the bacterium tight. It rams its pointed tail like an angry syringe into the victim and releases its DNA. Once inside, the proteins paralyze the bacterium's defenses. It becomes a puppet factory, producing new viruses until it is full to the bursting point, explodes, and spits out hordes of new lambda viruses. But it doesn't want a genocide. Phages need a healthy bacterial population to survive. Therefore, they sometimes choose a much more sinister tactic. Instead of killing their victim, the virus integrates its DNA into the bacteria's genome and lets it rest there. If the bacterium reproduces, the virus DNA reproduces too, until one day it wakes up and suddenly decides to kill its unsuspecting victim. Here is where it gets interesting. Your virome needs you to thrive too. It has an interest in you being healthy. That's why some viruses inject genes into bacteria to make them actively help your body. They make them strengthen your intestinal lining, break down complex carbohydrates in your food efficiently for you, or produce extra substances that protect against inflammation. They even alter the signals bacteria send to your immune cells, basically letting them know everything is under control, relax. This can prevent allergic reactions or even protect against autoimmune diseases.
But of course, there is a flip side to the coin. Some viruses don't care about your well-being. Instead of helping you, they turn harmless bacteria into deadly monsters. When viruses make bacteria into killers, some bacteriophages carry genes for toxic substances. If they take over a host, they can integrate into the bacteria's genetic code, settling down as a deadly gift. This is the case with the bacterium Vibrio cholera and the bacteriophage CTX-5 that hunts it. Most cholera bacteria strains are harmless. Billions of them might live in a gut. When CTX5 infects the bacteria, they give them the genes for the cholera toxin. It is like putting a shotgun in a cat's hands. Vibrio cholera floods the gut with these toxins. They cause you to vomit large amounts of salt, which pulls a lot of water into your gut. This causes explosive diarrhea and vomiting, draining you of water. Left untreated, about half of patients die. But for the phages and bacteria, this is a good thing. They're flushed out to infect more people. Because of this virus, this strain of Vibrio cholera is a dangerous enemy of humans today. Or take the bacterium Staphylococcus aureus, which is hunted by the virus with the catchy name Phi-SAW-3M. Usually, the bacterium is mostly harmless and lives on your skin and in your nose. It does nothing useful per se, but takes up space and makes it hard for hostile bacteria to take over your body. But Phi-SAW-3M can change that quickly. It carries several dangerous genes, essentially flamethrowers and grenades for the cat. If a modified Staphylococcus aureus bacterium enters your body through a tiny cut, it becomes extremely dangerous. Its new weapons include super antigens, a bit like cocaine for your immune cells. These cause your finely tuned immune system to collapse. They activate all T cells at once, making them freak out. They release a tsunami of cytokines that activate all defenses simultaneously. The infection is flooded with cells that cannot fight the bacteria, triggering massive inflammation. Your broken, confused immune cells can barely stand against Staphylococcus aureus, which now invades and penetrates deep into your tissue. Your body tries to close the wounds and isolate the intruder, but with another new weapon, the bacterium can simply dissolve the barriers and penetrate even deeper. Before antibiotics, an infection with Staphylococcus aureus was very deadly, and the virus Phi-SAW-3M makes it even deadlier.
But the viruses of our virome could also directly save lives by killing cancer. Cancer-killing viruses. Oncolytic viruses specialize in killing cancer, like the Newcastle disease virus or the Rio virus, which mostly ignore your healthy cells and hunt tumors instead. Cancer cells are mutants that develop ways to hide and fight back against the immune system. The better they get at that, the worse they become at other things, like defending against viruses, a weakness to be exploited. Oncolytic viruses target specific adaptations of cancer cells to attack them right at this weak spot. The cancer cells cannot fight back because their internal mechanism is compromised. They are taken over and turned into virus factories. Finally, the new viruses leave the cancer cell, often causing it to die, and infect other nearby cancer cells. A side effect of this destruction is that they attract immune cells, which then attack the tumor with full force. Even more impressive, these viruses seem to disrupt the artificial environment tumors create to keep the immune system in check. Oncolytic viruses are like intruders in a besieged city who open the gates and take out the defenders, helping the immune cells win the fight. We don't yet know to what extent oncolytic viruses are part of the natural virome, or rather a lucky coincidence, but they seem to combine well with chemotherapy or radiation. Perhaps they will become an important new tool that lets us eliminate cancer and save millions of lives. Who knows what else we will learn, but we now know that there are trillions of potential allies inside us, killing and manipulating. For better or for worse. What an exciting time to be alive.